Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the English Conversation Podcast, your cozy place to learn easy English through real conversations. I'm Jim.
And I'm Wendy. We're really happy you're here.
Quick check-in. How are you today?
I'm good. Today I saw something small that made me feel calm.
Oh, what happened?
I was waiting in a line and someone let another person go first. No big show, just a quiet kindness. It reminded me that small things matter.
Quiet kindness. I love that. It's simple, but it stays with you.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm okay. I caught myself rushing. Then I stopped and sat for 1 minute with my warm drink. Just 1 minute, and it felt like coming back to myself.
Coming back to yourself? Yeah, that's a good feeling.
And maybe you, listening right now, also need that, a small return to yourself.
So today's topic is perfect for this moment.
Yeah. Today we're talking about how to love yourself more than anyone else. Not in a selfish way, but in a healthy way, like respecting yourself, taking care of yourself, and not abandoning yourself.
Also, just so you know, this is a B1 level episode. So if you're intermediate, it's perfect. And if you're a strong beginner, you can still follow.
Yes, just take what you understand, repeat the useful lines, and let the rest wash over you like background music.
That's right. You don't need to understand every single word.
And to help you today, we'll share a few simple self-love habits you can use in real life.
Like what to say to yourself on a bad day, how to set boundaries, and how to stop being so hard on yourself, step by step.
And we'll use real-life situations like work, family, friendships, messages, and daily moments, so it feels practical, not theoretical.
And a quick reminder, if you enjoy our episodes, please like and subscribe. It really helps the English Conversation Podcast grow.
And then leave a comment after you listen. What is one small way you want to be kinder to yourself this week?
Even one sentence is perfect.
And because this is the English Conversation Podcast, at the end, we'll do a short, calm word tour.
That means we'll slow down, collect the key words and phrases from today, and explain them with simple examples so they stay in your English.
Okay, before we begin, take one slow breath in and out.
No pressure. You don't have to become perfect today. Just be here with us.
All right, let's start with the first idea.
And please don't rush yourself while you listen. Just stay with us.
Yeah. Let the ideas land slowly. No rush. And the first thing we want to share is simple, but it changes a lot.
Okay, I'm listening.
Here's a simple truth. The way you treat yourself becomes your standard.
Yeah. It's like the invisible rules you live by. You don't announce them, but people feel them.
Yes, totally. It's almost like an inner price tag. Not money, but value.
Oh, I like that. When you value yourself clearly, other people usually follow your lead, right?
But when you don't, you start teaching people something without meaning to.
Like when you keep saying yes, even when you want to say no.
Yes, people learn, oh, Jim is always available.
And at first, it sounds like a compliment, doesn't it? Helpful, kind, reliable.
Yeah, but then it turns into a habit.
And habits turn into roles. Suddenly, you're the yes person, even when you're exhausted, right?
And one day you're tired, overwhelmed, and you think, how did I get here?
Yeah, I've been there too. Can I share a small story?
Please, go ahead.
A few years ago, a friend used to message me late at night. Not every day, but often. And I would reply even when I was half asleep.
And
I kept telling myself, it's fine, I'm just being nice. But slowly, it started to wear me out.
oh, yeah, that kind of nice starts stealing your rest. It's like your energy is leaking little by little.
Exactly. And then one night, I didn't reply for 1 hour. just 1 hour. And the next day, my friend said, "Where were you?" in a serious tone, like I had done something wrong.
Mm. Oof. That moment. Because you realize the expectation is already there.
Yeah. Without realizing it, I taught my friend to expect instant access to me. I didn't plan it, but that's what happened.
So, the lesson isn't to stop being kind. The lesson is that kindness needs a limit. Kindness needs a line.
Yes, that's the word, boundaries.
In English, boundaries mean your personal limits. What is okay and what is not okay.
And boundaries aren't walls. They're more like doors.
Yeah, doors. You can still be warm, but you're also in control.
You decide who comes in, how long they stay, and what behavior is allowed inside.
And you decide when to close the door so you can rest.
And here's the interesting part. When you set a boundary, some people suddenly get uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially the people who benefited when you had no boundaries.
And it doesn't mean they're evil, it just means they're not used to your new standard.
Absolutely. A new standard and a calmer you. And when you raise your standard, something inside you has to change first.
Yeah, because boundaries aren't only about other people, they're also about what you believe you deserve.
Right. And that brings us to something deeper.
Your worth is not up for discussion. Let's talk about self-worth.
Self-worth means you believe you have value as a human being even on your bad days.
Yeah, not only on the days when your English feels good or when you're super productive.
Exactly. Not only on the days when you look perfect and do everything right.
A lot of people connect their worth to money, looks, or approval.
That word, validation.
Validation.
Yeah. Validation means other people telling you that you're good enough.
And validation feels nice, of course. But if you depend on it all the time, your confidence can become fragile.
Because if someone doesn't like you, your mood can crash. If someone criticizes you, you may suddenly feel small.
I remember once I posted something online, just a small thing, and one person wrote a rude comment. My mood changed instantly, like they had a remote control for my feelings.
Oh, wow. That's such a clear image. One click, and your whole day shifts.
Yeah. And then I realized, wait, why does one stranger have this power?
Because you were borrowing your worth from outside.
Right, so here's a sentence you can use. My worth is not up for discussion.
And here's another one. I am enough even while I'm improving.
Wow, that line feels like a deep breath.
And when you start believing that, you stop living for the audience.
Stop living for the audience. Yeah, that feels light. And then you can finally meet yourself.
Yes, and meeting yourself is where self-love really starts. Not with big words, but with honest noticing.
Right. You stop performing and start paying attention.
And this is where it gets really personal.
Yeah, knowing yourself comes first. Self-awareness first.
Okay, Wendy, question. How do you love yourself if you don't even know yourself?
Exactly. You can't.
This is where self-awareness matters. It means you notice your feelings, your triggers, and your needs.
And I like the word trigger because it's like a button. Something happens and boom, you react.
A button. I like that. Like someone says one sentence and suddenly you feel angry, sad, or insecure.
Yeah. So a simple exercise is to ask yourself, what drains me? What gives me energy?
Drain means something takes your energy away slowly, like a phone battery going down.
Yeah. For example, doom scrolling drains me.
Same. Also, some people drain me.
Yep. Some conversations feel like a battery thief.
A battery thief. It's funny, but it's also true.
And self-awareness is noticing that without judging yourself.
Exactly. You don't say, I'm weak. You say, Oh, this drains me. I need to protect my energy.
So try small, quiet moments. Journaling, walking, or even just sitting without your phone.
It's like cleaning a window. When the window is clean, you can see clearly. When it's dirty, everything looks cloudy.
Yeah. When your head feels cloudy, your decisions get messy too.
So we're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to see ourselves clearly.
And once you start seeing yourself clearly, you notice another habit, a very common one.
The sorry habit.
Yeah, it's so common that people don't even notice they're doing it.
I agree. It becomes automatic, like a reflex.
Like you're making yourself smaller before anyone even asks you to.
Yeah. So stop apologizing for existing.
Because it sounds small, but it changes a lot.
And you see it everywhere. People say sorry for normal things.
Sorry, I'm talking. Sorry, I'm asking. Sorry, I'm tired.
Of course, apologize when you make a real mistake, but don't apologize for being human.
Because when you apologize too much, you send a message. I don't deserve space.
And you do deserve space.
Yeah. And this reminds me of a coworker I had once. Really kind. But every message started with sorry, even when they were helping me. And I remember thinking, you don't need to shrink.
You don't need to shrink. Yeah, that's the feeling.
Because sorry can become a way to ask permission to exist.
And the right people won't ask you to disappear.
And when you stop shrinking, something else shows up.
The inner critic.
Exactly. That voice in your head that says, you're not good enough. You always mess things up. Everyone else is doing better than you.
Inner critic can be loud. And sometimes we speak to ourselves in ways we would never speak to another person.
That's so true. If a friend made a mistake, you probably wouldn't say, wow, you're terrible. You ruin everything.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. You might say, it's okay. You made a mistake. Learn from it and try again.
So here's a useful question. Would I say this to someone I care about?
That one question can really help. If the answer is no, maybe you shouldn't say it to yourself either.
Exactly. You can correct yourself without attacking yourself.
That's an important difference. Self-love doesn't mean pretending every choice you make is perfect.
It means being honest with yourself without being cruel.
You can say, I didn't handle that well, but I can do better next time.
Instead of, I'm terrible, I always ruin everything.
One sentence helps you grow. The other one just hurts you.
And sometimes that negative voice comes from old experiences.
Maybe someone criticized you a lot when you were younger, or maybe you learned that mistakes were something to be ashamed of.
And after hearing those messages for a long time, you may start repeating them to yourself.
But just because a thought is familiar doesn't mean it's true.
That's a powerful point. Familiar doesn't always mean true.
So when your inner critic gets loud, pause and ask, is this actually true, or is this just an old pattern?
And then try replacing the thought with something more balanced.
Not fake positivity, just something fair.
For example, instead of saying, I can't do anything right, you could say, I made a mistake, but that doesn't mean I fail at everything.
Or instead of, my English is terrible, say, my English is still improving and I'm learning every day.
That's much healthier.
And much more realistic.
Now, when you start treating yourself with more respect, something interesting happens.
You become more aware of how other people treat you too.
Exactly. And that brings us back to boundaries, but this time from a different angle.
Boundaries without guilt.
Because a lot of people understand boundaries in theory, but when they actually say no, they feel terrible.
Oh yes, the guilt comes immediately.
Maybe I'm selfish. Maybe they're angry. Maybe I should just say yes.
Yeah, guilt has a big mouth. It says you're bad, you're selfish.
But saying no doesn't automatically make you selfish.
Sometimes saying no is simply how you protect your time, your energy, and your peace.
And you can say no kindly.
You don't need a long explanation either.
You can say, I'm sorry, I can't do that today.
Or, I can't help this time, but I hope it goes well.
Or even, that doesn't work for me.
Short, calm, respectful.
And notice something important. You don't have to sound angry to have a strong boundary.
Right. You can be warm and still mean what you say.
That's self-respect.
And sometimes the hardest boundaries aren't with strangers. They're with people you care about.
Family, close friends, coworkers, people you've known for years.
Because there's history there. There are expectations.
And sometimes you worry that changing your behavior will change the relationship.
It might, but sometimes that's necessary.
Not because you want to hurt anyone, but because you want a healthier relationship.
And healthier relationships need room for both people.
Exactly. Not one person always giving and the other person always taking.
Which brings us to another common habit, people-pleasing.
People-pleasing means you try to keep everyone happy, even if you suffer.
You say yes when you want to say no. You stay quiet when something bothers you. You change yourself to avoid conflict.
And from the outside, you may look easygoing.
But inside, you can become tired, frustrated, or even resentful.
Because you're constantly asking, what does everyone else need?
And forgetting to ask, what do I need?
That's the question people pleasers often forget.
And caring about your own needs doesn't mean you stop caring about other people.
Means you include yourself in the group of people you care about.
I love that. Include yourself too.
Because you're a person too.
A very important detail.
Very important.
So if someone asks you for something, you don't always have to answer immediately.
You can pause and say, let me think about it.
That's such a useful sentence.
It gives you time to check in with yourself before you automatically say yes.
Ask yourself, do I actually have the time? Do I have the energy? Do I really want to do this?
And if the answer is no, you can respond honestly and respectfully.
This takes practice, especially if you're used to making everyone else comfortable.
But little by little, you start trusting yourself more.
And self-trust is a big part of self-love.
Because when you trust yourself, you don't need to ask everyone else what you should feel or what you should do.
You can listen to advice, of course, but the final decision is still yours.
And that feels very different from living for approval.
Much calmer.
Now let's talk about something else that can steal that calm. Comparison.
Oh, comparison. That's a big one.
Especially now because we see other people's lives all day on our phones.
Their vacations, their jobs, their relationships, their homes, their bodies, their achievements.
And usually, we're seeing the best parts.
Exactly. Their highlight reel.
But then we compare their best moments with our normal Tuesday afternoon.
That's not a fair comparison.
Not at all.
Maybe you're sitting at home in old sweatpants, eating leftovers, and someone online is standing on a beach in Italy.
Suddenly your leftovers feel very disappointing.
Poor leftovers. They didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly. Let the leftovers live.
Seriously, comparison can make a normal life feel like a bad life.
Even when your life is actually okay.
So when you notice yourself comparing, come back to your own path.
Ask, am I moving forward compared with where I was before?
That's a much healthier comparison.
Your life doesn't need to look like someone else's life.
And your timing doesn't need to match theirs either.
Some people find success early.
Some people find it later.
Some people change careers.
Some people start again.
There's no single schedule for a good life.
And that's important because sometimes we create pressure from imaginary deadlines.
I should have done this by now. I should have more money. I should be more successful.
Those should sentences can become very heavy.
So instead of asking, why am I behind? Try asking, what's my next small step?
That's a much kinder question.
And it's useful because it brings you back to something you can actually do.
One small step today.
And not your whole life in one afternoon.
Thank goodness.
That would be a very busy afternoon.
Very busy.
And while we're talking about pressure, we should talk about perfection.
Yes, because perfection can look responsible, but sometimes it's just fear wearing nice clothes.
Oh, I like that.
You want everything to be perfect because you're afraid of being judged, failing, or disappointing someone.
And then you spend too much time checking, fixing, and worrying.
Or you don't start at all.
Exactly. Perfectionism can make you freeze.
So here's a healthier sentence. Done with care is better than never finished.
I like that. It doesn't mean doing bad work.
No, it means doing your best without demanding the impossible from yourself.
Because nobody performs perfectly every day.
Nobody feels confident every day either.
And nobody makes the right decision every single time.
We're human.
Which is inconvenient sometimes,
Very inconvenient.
but also kind of beautiful.
Yeah. And when you accept that you're human, you can stop punishing yourself for every little mistake.
You can learn, adjust, and move forward.
And that saves a lot of energy.
Speaking of energy, that's another important part of self-love.
Protecting your energy.
Exactly. Not in a selfish way. More like, I want to stay healthy, so I need to protect my energy.
Because you can't keep giving and then act surprised when you feel empty.
Even good people burn out, and I think many listeners feel that. They're not lazy, they're just tired.
Exactly. So this is a gentle reminder. Protect your energy.
And sometimes that means resting.
Sometimes it means saying no.
Sometimes it means spending less time with someone who leaves you feeling exhausted.
Yeah. And you don't need a big fight. You don't need drama. Sometimes you just step back little by little, a little distance, more quiet, more room to breathe.
That's important. Distance doesn't always mean anger.
Sometimes distance is simply information. You notice something isn't good for you, so you make an adjustment.
And now you're not setting boundaries with anger. You're setting them with self-respect.
Exactly.
And what happens when you make a mistake after all this?
Because you will.
Thank you for the confidence.
You're welcome.
No, but seriously, we all make mistakes.
Of course. And that's where self-forgiveness comes in.
Self-forgiveness means you accept that you did something wrong without deciding that you are a bad person.
That's a huge difference. I made a bad choice is not the same as I am bad.
One is about behavior.
The other turns the mistake into your identity.
And shame loves to turn mistakes into identity.
I failed, so I'm a failure.
But that's not fair.
No, a mistake is an event, not your whole identity.
People who practice self-love may find it easier to bounce back because they don't punish themselves with shame.
They still take responsibility. They still apologize when they need to.
But they don't give themselves that long I'm worthless speech in their head.
Instead, they ask, what can I learn from this?
And what can I do differently next time?
That's growth.
Exactly. Responsibility without self-hatred.
That's a strong combination.
And sometimes forgiveness takes time.
Definitely. You don't have to force yourself to feel better immediately.
You can say, I'm still upset about what happened, but I'm working on forgiving myself.
That's honest.
And honesty is healthier than pretending.
So if you're carrying regret about something from the past, maybe you can give yourself a little room today.
You don't have to erase the past.
You just don't have to live inside it forever.
That's beautiful.
And I think that brings us back to the heart of today's topic.
Loving yourself more doesn't mean thinking you're better than everyone else.
It means you stop treating yourself like you're less important than everyone else.
You care about people, but you care about yourself too.
You help people, but you don't abandon yourself to do it.
You listen to other people's opinions, but you don't let those opinions decide your worth.
And when you make a mistake, you correct yourself without destroying yourself.
That's the kind of self-love we're talking about.
Quiet, practical, everyday self-love.
Not perfect, just healthier.
And if you're feeling emotional right now, take a slow breath and give yourself a moment.
You don't need to fix everything today.
One small change is enough.
Maybe tonight you go to bed earlier.
Maybe you don't answer that message immediately.
Maybe you say no to something you really don't have energy for.
Or maybe you simply notice one negative thought and replace it with a fairer one.
Small things matter.
Just like that quiet kindness we talked about at the beginning.
Exactly. Except this time, the kindness is for you.
I like that.
Me too.
All right. I think it's time for our word tour.
Yes, let's slow down and review some of the most useful words and phrases from today's conversation.
Let's start with the word standard. A standard is the level of behavior or quality you accept or expect.
For example, respect is an important standard in my relationships. Or, my new standard is to stop answering work messages after 9 p.m.
Next is boundary. A boundary is a personal limit that shows what you will and will not accept.
For example, I expect people to speak to me with respect. Or, I set a boundary and told my friend I couldn't talk late at night.
Another useful phrase is self-worth. Self-worth is the belief that you have value as a person.
For example, my self-worth doesn't depend on one person's opinion. Your value doesn't disappear because someone doesn't like you.
Next is validation. Validation means getting approval or confirmation from other people that you're good enough.
For example, I used to look for validation online. That means I wanted other people to tell me I was good enough.
Another important word is fragile. Fragile means easy to break or damage.
We often use it for physical things, but we can also use it for feelings or confidence. For example, my confidence was fragile after the criticism.
Next is the verb crash. In today's conversation, we used it informally to describe a sudden drop in mood or confidence.
For example, when she ignored my message, my mood crashed and I felt really sad. Or my confidence crashed after the negative comment.
Next is self-awareness. Self-awareness means understanding your own feelings, thoughts, habits, and reactions.
For example, self-awareness helped me understand why I was feeling stressed.
We also use the word trigger. A trigger is something that causes a strong emotional reaction.
For example, crowds can be a trigger for my anxiety. Or, that comment triggered an old memory.
Next is drain. As a verb, drain means to slowly take away energy.
For example, long negative conversations drain me. Or, too much time on social media drains my energy.
And the opposite idea is something that gives you energy.
For example, walking outside gives me energy. Or talking to good friends helps me recharge.
That's another useful word, recharge. Recharge means to get your energy back.
We use it for batteries, but we also use it for people. I need a quiet weekend to recharge.
Next is apologize. To apologize means to say you're sorry because you did something wrong.
We also used the word apologize when we talked about saying sorry too often. You should apologize for real mistakes, but you don't need to apologize for simply taking up space.
Another useful phrase is inner critic. Your inner critic is the negative voice in your mind that judges you.
For example, my inner critic tells me I'm not good enough, but I'm learning not to believe everything it says.
Next is balanced. Balanced means fair and reasonable without going too far in one direction.
For example, instead of saying, I'm terrible at everything, a more balanced thought is, I made a mistake, but I can learn from it.
Next is pattern. A pattern is something that happens in the same way again and again.
For example, I'm trying to change my pattern of saying yes to everyone.
We also talked about guilt. Guilt is the uncomfortable feeling that you've done something wrong.
For example, I felt guilty when I said no, even though I needed to rest.
Next is people-pleasing. People-pleasing means trying too hard to keep other people happy, even when it hurts you.
For example, people-pleasing made me say yes when I really wanted to say no.
Another useful word is resentful. Resentful means feeling angry or upset because you think you've been treated unfairly.
For example, I became resentful because I was always helping everyone and never resting.
Next is self-trust. Self-trust means believing that you can listen to yourself and make your own decisions.
For example, I'm building self-trust by paying attention to what I really need.
We also talked about comparison. Comparison means looking at two people or things and thinking about how they're different or similar.
For example, too much comparison on social media makes me feel like I'm behind.
Next is highlight reel. A highlight reel is a collection of someone's best moments.
Online, people often show their highlight reel, not every difficult or boring part of their life.
Another useful word is perfectionism. Perfectionism means feeling that everything you do has to be perfect.
For example, perfectionism sometimes stops me from starting because I'm afraid of making mistakes.
Next is freeze. In this context, freeze means becoming unable to act because you feel nervous, afraid, or overwhelmed.
For example, I wanted to answer the question, but I froze.
We also use the phrase burn out. To burn out means to become extremely tired because of too much stress or work over a long period of time.
For example, if I never rest, I might burn out. You can also use the noun burnout.
Next is bounce back. Bounce back means to recover after a difficult experience.
For example, she made a mistake, but she learned from it and bounced back quickly.
Another important word is shame. Shame is a painful feeling that something is wrong with you as a person.
That's different from saying, I made a mistake. Shame says, I am the mistake.
Next is responsibility. Responsibility means accepting that your choices and actions belong to you.
For example, taking responsibility means admitting what I did wrong and trying to do better.
And finally, regret. Regret is a feeling of sadness about something you did or didn't do in the past.
For example, I regret what happened, but I'm trying to learn from it instead of punishing myself forever.
Okay, that's our word tour for today. You don't need to memorize every word right now.
Choose 2 or 3 that feel useful to you. Write them down and try to make your own sentences.
And remember, learning vocabulary isn't only about knowing the meaning. Try to use the words in your real life.
That's when they start becoming part of your English.
Before we go, let's quickly return to today's main idea.
Loving yourself doesn't mean believing you're better than everyone else. It means treating yourself with the same basic care and respect you give to other people.
Notice what drains you. Protect your energy, set healthy boundaries, and don't apologize for simply being yourself.
Pay attention to your inner critic, and when you make a mistake, take responsibility without turning that mistake into your identity.
Stop measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. Your path is your path.
And when things don't go well, give yourself permission to learn, recover, and try again.
You don't have to change everything today. One small act of self-respect is enough.
Maybe that's saying no when you need to say no.
Maybe it's resting without feeling guilty.
Maybe it's speaking to yourself a little more kindly.
Or maybe it's simply saying, I am enough, even while I'm improving.
That's a good place to end.
I think so too.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
And thank you for practicing English with us while talking about something that matters in real life.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please like the video and subscribe to the English Conversation podcast.
And tell us in the comments, what's one small way you want to be kinder to yourself this week?
Keep it simple. One sentence is enough.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Take care of yourself and keep practicing your English.
This is Wendy.
And this is Jim, and you've been listening to the English Conversation podcast. Bye.